kind of on the same wavelength, we will do Tyler's question. When did you experience the most rapid period of growth in your career?
Great question. I probably have a few of those.
You want to go? Because I think that's the answer is about, yeah, go. There's not one time.
No, there's not one time. I can think of 3 times that happened. And all the times, the first time was when I was in Long Island and had my studio, and people started coming to work. And when they were telling me that what we were finishing was the thing that was going to be heard by a bunch of people, and put it on iTunes or whatever. And like, here I am just being a kid and trying to figure out how to actually record and make things sound good. And people are like, no, this is what it needs. It needs to sound great. And it's going on Apple, it's going on iTunes. So, show up. So I forced myself to show up every time.
Was it the pressure? You think it was the pressure of that? Because what I like about this,
it's always the high stakes. People are counting on you to do that. Then the second time was when Tony asked me to come work with him, and whatever he put in front of me first, I don't remember what it was exactly first, me wanting to impress him and, make him want me to stick around. And I thought those stakes were high because I knew the possibilities of things that we could work on together. Well, I guess Lady Gaga was the first thing we worked on together. So the stakes are automatically high. And I went over and over and redid before I would show him a thing, and like went off my instincts and, made bolder moves than maybe I'm doing even today. Like just to show up, just to prove, there's a lot of having to prove yourself. And then the third time was, leaving Tony and having to do it for myself to prove to myself that all these high stakes records that are now coming to me solely, I'm capable of delivering at the highest level. And then the fourth time was after I had my first hit song with Talk, that I got 300 plus songs within the next year, and I had to have output at a level that I've never had output. So if you're getting the pattern, it changes regularly when the stakes get higher. So you're having rapid growth based on the expectations of others on you.
That's a great answer. It's very much how my answer is going to be too. I actually wasn't even going to think of specific times, although I could name a bunch of them, but it is exactly that. And it's irrespective of age and skill level and whatever. My most rapid growth has always come when I have a intense commitment to what I'm doing. Like I'm falling asleep and waking up thinking about it. And that's usually due to the stakes are very high. Like I have a big opportunity. The first couple of One Direction things, when I first started working for Eric Valentine, when I was, I don't know, there's lots of examples of that stuff. And it's actually part of the reason that I've gone nomadic for the last little bit, is because it's got me a little more stressed out and a little more focused, and the stakes feel higher. I'm less comfortable in my studio environment, so I'm focusing more, I'm working harder. That's, I think, and it's, again, getting back to it, most of the people that watch this stuff are people that are either professionals or trying to be professionals at the highest level. And that is certainly what it takes, is getting into the place where you have high stakes, high pressure, and you're really focused on what you're doing. I also don't recommend it for everybody because it's incredibly stressful. The idea of having like a sweet balance for your career for decades when you're starting out is just unlikely to get you to the place that we are. I mean, it's taken a lot of stress and a lot of focus and a lot of like, oh my God, I have this crazy opportunity. I'm going to spend I got to get this right. And you do that for days or weeks or months or whatever. And that's where the rapid growth comes in. And it makes sense. I mean, all the cliches of pressure makes diamonds and all that kind of stuff. If you can put yourself in positions where there is a high pressure situation, lots of stakes, it will focus your brain and then you will work really hard. That's always when I've had the most growth, for sure.
Yeah. I love that question. I'm still thinking about Atmos being another one, right? Yeah. Like, there's so many examples, even probably outside of career, that this, I want to keep this more specifically about career, but think about that outside for people that are having kids, for people that are challenging, like an addiction that they've had. And, there's so many examples of what high stakes looks like, and what growth has to be had in order to make it work, be, you know, instead of floundering and giving up or, you know, whatever, like, you know, there's so many examples of this.
Thanks for watching. Just a reminder, all of this content is free. There's no secret knowledge here. There's no Patreon. We don't read ads. We don't have sponsors. We're just trying to build a knowledge base. All that we ask in return is that you share it with somebody. Thanks so much.